Hello and welcome back to my aquarium. Today we're going to be continuing on to our Soulstone Survivors series here. And as I get into it, I want to kind of talk about a lot of things today. I do have some different music going in the background, first of all, as you can probably hear. I still need to figure out exactly how I want to balance that with the game noise. So let me know as we go through this if the game noise is a little bit too low or too loud or whatever, if the music's too loud, too low, and I will do my best to balance that in the future, but I'd appreciate any feedback on that front. I think I'm just going to go ahead and jump onto Full Curse 2 here. Why not? And we are trying out the Assassin for the first time. I'm just going to keep going through these curse levels on the Scorching Valley. Besides that, I'm going to get into some, obviously, talk about, you know, the life soon enough. But before we get to that, I want to talk about some comments people have been leaving that I really appreciate. You know, I don't know everything about this game, and for the most part, I don't watch other people's content on this game. I very much so like in these kinds of games to figure it out for myself, but at the same time, if you play the game a lot and you have good tips or whatnot, feel free to leave those in the comments. Obviously, some people I know don't like backseat gaming or whatever as much as others. I don't really mind as long as it's like constructive criticism, like, oh, I noticed you were having a little trouble with this, or you want to unlock this certain thing I saw you talking about. Try doing it this way, will really help you out. I do appreciate that kind of stuff, so if you want to leave me comments like that, then I'm completely fine with that. So thank you to the few people that have left me good comments that have actually opened my eyes to a few things. I have one of them open. The first thing they talked about was the portals a little bit, telling me about how those are actually based on the time that you finish a level. So they said the first one, let me see here. Yes. The purple portal opens within 14 minutes of a completion, so if you can complete it another 14 minutes. And the other one opens if you complete a level another 12 minutes. And those have some different functionalities associated with them, so that's very good to know. The other thing that comment said was if you are saving your levels, be careful with that. It's not the best thing to do, simply because what happens is, and let's see if I can actually just get the upgrade here to show it to you. I do love Agile. I'm just going to go that early, and I was actually thinking about going for a Chaos build, so it's good that I got this Chaos immediately, because I don't always go for these big Chaos builds, so it's something I want to try out. So we're going to go for that. Chaos bolt in the direction you are aiming at, piercing through, applying a random powerful negative effect. Okay. So that can just be any number of things. So we did not get the magnetic upgrade here. I'm going to go for this thrust modifier, and maybe we'll get some more thrust abilities as we go through this now that we have that. But what they said was don't save too many levels at once, because you might get the magnetic upgrade. Now what that does is it increases the range in which you can pick up XP, but also it does an XP multiplier. So each subsequent time you pick up XP after that, the XP is going to count for more. And that made a lot of sense to me. It was like, oh yeah, if you bank up too many levels, then of course it's going to be more beneficial for you to get those XP upgrades as early as possible. You know, make that XP count for more as early as possible. Now, I think it's a little too slow for me personally to go ahead and do that every single level. It just gets a little too slow. But what I'm going to do is make sure I never save up more than 5 levels at a time, like I'm doing right now. Multicast for Chaos Bolt. Every time you apply a stack of days, there's a 50% chance of applying Burn. I would love that, but this sounds really good early on. None of this is Chaos, but I do know Death Vortex is very good, so I will go ahead and grab that. And then let's go ahead and just keep leveling up Chaos Bolt here. I want to put some good points into that. We'll do a little bit of Poison there, and then Chaos Bomb was something I was very much looking forward to getting, because I don't think I ever gave it too much of a chance, and I would like to do that right now. So that is the other things that I learned. And then last but not least, that was all in one comment. Someone else left me a very kind comment, said, you know, I talk about going for some of the like speedrunning type stuff sometimes, which I've kind of done a little bit, but not like too crazy much committed myself to it. I was like, if it happens, it happens, but I haven't gone super crazy on it yet. They said, bring yourself to the bottom left or top left portion of a map if you want to speedrun. So that's kind of why I'm trying to bring myself down here right now, if I can, because bringing yourself down to these areas, I think, is the best way to kind of group these enemies up, from how I understand it, and take them out really, really quickly, which is good if you're trying to summon the bosses as quick as possible, and then take the bosses out as quick as possible. So, those are the few things that I have learned, so thank you for anybody who actually left a comment, and, you know, was kind in the comments, but really just helped me out. I do appreciate that stuff, and I want to be, you know, as efficient at the game as possible. Increase the area modifier of all your skills of Chaos. I will definitely do that. I want to focus those as much as I can. Critical damage modifier. I might go another thing with frontal and swing here to kind of match up with our Sinister Strike. I didn't even notice we do have on a rune that gives us our special weapon as well, which is Eviscerate. Your strike enemies in front of you applying or dealing 100 damage and applying bleed. If they are facing you or dealing 312 damage, add an extra 60 damage per stack of bleed, and the targets are moving away. Those effects. Oh, and removing those effects. Okay, so this is what's getting bleed. This one just applies hemorrhage if they're looking the other way. So if they're looking the other way, it's really good to get some extra hemorrhage on there. So I will go Titan's Cleaver here, and then I will do some more crit power. And let's get behind this guy, and while we're behind him, the more we can hit him with our main ability here is the better, because that means we're stacking a bunch of hemorrhage on him, which will kill him very easily, just like that. And then we'll keep killing this stuff. Let me get this materials right here. I actually took a little hit and all of that on accident, but it's fine because we got a little level up, which means we got a little bit of healing. Like I said, I'll go to level 5 before I spend our XP. Dodge that. So yeah, those are all the things I've learned. And again, just if you do want to leave a comment, obviously be as kind as you can about it. I would appreciate that. And I do not consider it as like assholery or backseat gaming or whatever. Like, it is appreciated. Just know that if you were thinking about leaving a comment to this point and have not said anything, I would actually appreciate it. So with that out of the way, we can talk about other things, like what's going on right here. I like our build quite a bit right now. I'm going to go through. I am going to get Bloodlust. I was looking for this. Of course, this is another ability with Chaos. I know that Death Vortex can be such a great ability. I want to keep this just because I think it's very interesting. We have the entire rune here. You know, this is what this rune does, is it gives us this ability. So I'm going to give it a fair shot. Damage is multiplied on your armor power. I'm not going to go for a bunch of armor levels, so I'm going to actually not get this. I want movement speed more so. Cast frequency of Sinister Strikes, yes, please. Let's get some more health while we can. Ooh, powerful strike in the direction you are aiming at, dealing 62 damage, an extra 13 damage per stack of bleed. Huh. You know what? I love the Vortex. I know it's so good, but let's go full on with the Chaos here. And I say we're not going to go armor and then immediately pick up some armor, so what do you know about that? We're not going to have crazy range for the most part, but we do have our bomb and our missile that we can kind of shoot out there. And besides that, we'll just kind of need to work on getting... Oop, we're going to do a little explodey guy. Some range and some area modifiers for our basic strikes and slashes here, and I think we'll be pretty good to go. And then some movement speed, obviously. We have a lot of dash charges and stuff already off the bat, because this character does get an extra dash charge. And then just on top of that, I have... getting thrown around here like a ragdoll a little bit. It's the thing with these explodey guys, you gotta be careful. We are on that tier 3 of that curse or whatnot, so it's getting pretty crazy. Yeah, they're getting quite annoying. Of course, we're gonna keep leveling up and being fine there. I got a dash right when we get out of this, and speaking of, we can get 4 dashes there. I might as well go ahead and grab that. I think is a good idea. Multicast a Sinister Strike. I will do that. Let's get some fragility in here. And then area modifier of Chaos Bomb is huge. I want to make that as big as I can. Will be a great idea in my opinion. An area modifier for everything. Very good. I can lose that much movement speed, I think will be fine. So yeah, other than that, just been chilling out. Thanksgiving week was this past week. So if you noticed, if you are any of the people that did leave those comments and you're like, he's not putting them into effect, rest assured, I know I answered you in the comments. I did understand them. But the last 5 episodes were I all recorded before Thanksgiving. Because I had family coming over, I didn't want to be busy. If I have the chance that I have family coming over, I'm going on vacation or whatever, I just like to get a bunch of stuff backlogged and then just let it go up over time and enjoy my time off and not have to, you know, worry about that and be like, oh, I have family here, but it's like, well, I gotta get this done, I gotta get that done. So I did miss 1 day of continuing this daily series, but that's not too bad. Every other day I was able to get stuff up, so I'm very happy about that. Let's do multicast, and then let's go ahead and go fragility, yes, with more bleed. Give me the movement speed. Give me the modifier of the area. Give me... There we go. There's the magnetic upgrade that I was talking about. First one we've seen, actually, not too good there. Critical strikes have 50% chance of applying bleed, which I think is great, obviously. So hopefully you guys had a good Thanksgiving, though. I know I had a amazing Thanksgiving. One of my favorite holidays, actually. Just one of my favorite times of the year. Get to see family, everyone's, you know, kind of together, And that doesn't really happen with other holidays, especially not nowadays. Holy hell. I'm just going to keep dashing here because I can. So I will. If I can and I will, then I have a much better chance at surviving here. Yeah, I need to just... I'm trying to stick him down there really quick, see if I get some stacks of bleed and whatever else on top of him. Trying to get behind him there. Hit him from the back so I can get the hemorrhaging going on him, which will do a lot more damage with all the bleeds. Okay, I would love a health crystal. I see there's one up on top of us. But also I think we can heal pretty well by just tearing these guys up and leveling up. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll prioritize that health crystal at a later point if need be. But if I can just let a bunch of health crystals stack up, I think that's a good idea. That's actually a question I have. Everybody knows the answer to it. Do health crystals... Jesus, get off of me. Stack up forever? Or is there a limit? Can only 3 be on the map at once? Or what's the deal with that? So if you know the answer to that, I'd very much appreciate the answer. Let's go ahead and use our stuff here. Let's go. Movement. We will go block power a little bit. Cast frequency of bloodlust. Yes, please. Increase your modifier of everything with chaos, which is only these 3. I guess, yeah, it's just those 3. These ones were red. They were kind of confusing me, but they're not actually chaos. We still do have a lot of chaos, though, to be fair. Debilitating Plague. Every time you apply a stack of poison, there's a 50% chance of applying Doom. Yeah, I think just applying a bunch of separate status effects is one of our big goals with this build, so that's definitely something I'm looking to pick up there. Screw you, little splody guy. You are the worst thing about my day. But yeah, I had a great time. Let's see, I don't even know where to start, honestly. Obviously, my cousin came over. That's always fun. Hello, Craig. I'm sure you're watching this. Shout out to you. We had a great time. And just hanging out. We were watching... Yeah, he had heard me talk about how I started watching American Big Brother from, like, Season 1, which is this game show, but it's very, very different in Season 1 than it is now. You know, there was, like, no game show elements. It was just basically all reality show. And I thought that was very interesting. And he's actually a big fan of the show and watches a lot of the other countries' versions, too. And so we were watching some of the British version, which is just a nutty time, because I don't know what it is about European people, but they wild. They're a wild bunch. And we were watching a lot of that, just laughing at it, and I'm just like... See, here's my thing with, like, certain... I don't even know if it's just British accents. I think it is British accents. Certain ones, I can't understand well, you know? Some of them is just like, yeah, I get what these guys are saying, you know, a regular British accent. I'm like, yeah, I understand this. Other British accents, I'm just like, I don't know what this dude's saying. Because it's just like really cotton-mouthed, I guess is the way I would put it. You know, there's certain people, oh my god. These exploders need to eat my cheeks, dude. All 2 of them. All 2 of my cheeks need to be eaten by these guys. I'm trying to stack up a bunch of hemorrhage on him, or her, right now, if I can, while I'm behind her. Strike her up here, there we go. Now we're talking. Get some levels here, get some health back. I'm gonna go break one of these health crystals, or else I'm gonna get messed up, I think. Critical power. Damage modifier. Let's go movement speed. Let's go Chaos Bomb. Chaos Bomb, yes please. Thrust, I will take. Did not realize that was my last attack, so that could have been bad, but it's okay. Yeah, so here's the thing about a build like this. I don't have the easiest time taking care of these sploders. And that's the only other thing about locking yourself in the corner. Sure, we're getting through enemies really, really quickly, but they have an easier time of getting up to me, these fucking sploders, dude. I really do hate them. Worst enemy type in this fucking game. I am going to break this crystal so I just don't eat cheeks to an unfathomable degree. I'm itching my nose like crazy right now, so hopefully you can't hear it, first of all, which I'm sure you can't. But also, that's why I'm not aiming my mouse for a second there. It's like really itchy. But, yeah, good Thanksgiving. Before I get off to that tangent, though, I guess, let me say something really quick. I just saw, today is the 28th, on the 26th they put out a little thing talking about the future of the game, where it's going, and there's a big update planned for the first 2 weeks of December is when it's supposed to come out. So look forward to that. We'll get some new content. I'm really, really excited to get a big new content update coming out. gets a lot of balancing changes, game mode changes, character changes, maybe some new abilities, and just a lot of UI improvements, bug fixes, a bunch of stuff. I love to see how invested in this game the developers are. It makes me very happy to see, and clearly they just care about this game a whole lot, and they have no intentions of just ditching it. After that, next update, in the first 2 weeks of December, they said that they're looking to do a big monthly update. So every month they want to do a big update after that. So in case you missed any of that, or you don't really keep up with it, you just kind of watch the game and don't play it, that is the current state of the game and what they're looking to do. So, you heard it here first, folks. Multicast chance of Chaos Bomb, that's a huge buff for us. Some area modifier, and then... Ooh... give me this. Ugh. Gotta love when you come out of it and they're just on your cheek holes. One thing they talked about that I like the sound of a lot was actually making different maps have more differences. I'm like super slowed because there's spider webs everywhere. We already failed an under 10-minute run, so I just need to be careful and not die, honestly. Take strikes at him whenever I can. Dodge through that, get up on him a little bit more. There's my Chaos Bomb going off on him. Yeah, look how many effects we have stacked up. You can look under his name and see how many effects we actually do have just stacked up. I think I should be a little more lenient with my dodges too, because I do have 4 of them, and they are like constantly refreshing, so I go ahead and kind of be a bit more lenient with those and just kind of spam them out a bit more. See how tired my pinky can get, right? But yeah, I'm very excited to see what they're going to bring with these updates and how much they're going to keep improving the game. Love to see some more definition of like, okay, well this is the frost map, so here's some actual frost enemies. Maybe more of these enemies are going to slow you, which I hate, but it would be more character, right? Here's the desert map. There's going to be more fire enemies, you know, that shoot actual like fire at you or something like that. You know what I mean? Just some more character to the maps, and the enemies on the maps would be really cool to see, and I'm excited to see how they handle that. But all that being said, we can actually talk about me, because that's why you're here, right? I know some of you are actually. People have been subscribing more lately, and I really appreciate that. If you're someone new, welcome to the channel. But if you are interested, let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit, because I know I got you. I cucked you. I was like, yeah, I'm going to tell you about my Thanksgiving. And then I was like, nope. 6 different tangents in a row. So let's actually go back and talk about Thanksgiving, because I had an amazing time. Mostly just drank a lot. A lot of my family, no matter which side it is, does just like to drink, which isn't too bad. You know, it's a fun time, but also I will say I get tired of the drinking after like the second day, and then I'm just ready for a little break, but it's like, it was 3 full days of just, alright, let's pound it, let's pound it, let's pound it, and I was like, alright, let's do this. First night, we went and played a little trivia, had some drinks there, it wasn't too bad, just enough to where I fell asleep really well that night, so that was nice. The second night, that's when it was actually Thanksgiving, and I'll tell you what, you know, I woke up early, I got through most of the day, and I was doing good. Cooked my little contribution to Thanksgiving dinner. I make the... Ooh, I'm gonna go for the XP magnifier here. I'm gonna go for the poison. Let's go for the slow. Let's go for the crits. And last level here, let's go for the critical strikes. Have a chance to wound. Anytime you apply effects while wound is active, there's a 50% chance they'll be doubled. That is going to make our damage fly through the roof. I make the doubled eggs. That's like my contribution. And the way I see it, you gotta cook less if you clean, or you gotta clean less if you cook, right? That's my deal for it, at least. But that is my favorite dish at Thanksgiving. My dad used to always make them, and for the past 5-6 years, something like that, I've taken over that duty from him, which I know he's appreciative of, because he makes most of the other dishes. So it's me, him, and my aunt that do most of the cooking. Beyblade Man is coming at me. I don't have most of the range here, so I kind of just need to wait till he's done spinning, and then we'll go ahead and try to tear him up. But until that's the case, there we go. Get behind him. I'd love to just hemorrhage the heck out of him and not get my cheeks beat too much. Okay, I'm gonna run away and heal really quick. There we go. Give me there, coach. Hemorrhage, 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 hemorrhage. Ouch. Yeah, I'm definitely getting my noggin rocked a little more. Now, let's see if we can just keep throwing bombs at him. That would be the best case scenario here. Have him chase us down and just chuck those bombs in there, and then whenever we can get behind him, stack some hemorrhage, And with our other effects we can stack now, we can do a lot of status effects, and we can actually double them now if we can manage to wound him, which I think we're critting quite often, so I don't think that's too much of an ask. Use a lot of dodges here to get behind him. There goes Beyblade again. I mean, look at that, Elite just got crushed. I'm just looking to throw a Chaos Bomb at him if I can. There it is. Love to keep getting multi-cast chance on that, would be great too, so we can just chuck a bunch of bombs out at once. Looks like he's going to do an attack here soon. Let's dodge behind him. Got a lot of heat on us there when we do that, so we got to be careful. I'm just going to stick him down here. There it is. Everything else dies. Lovely for me. Let's do our levels really quick, and we'll get Bloodlust, and Fragility. And that's the end of that one, because I was not fast enough to get any of the other portals. What do we got? Backstab there, new ability. That's cool. Not too bad. We did so much damage there. Chaos Bomb, which is what I wanted. I wanted to do a bunch of damage. I think it was mostly because of how big the area modifier was. But either way, pretty good. Not one of my favorite characters. I do like more the mage type characters that have more range and whatnot. But yeah, this guy was pretty fun. Didn't unlock anybody new as far as I know, which is okay, but we did do curse level 3 or 2 there, all done. So that makes me happy. We only completed curse level 2 on here so far. And I know that there is some like dudes. Yeah, here we go. Win a match with all curses up to and including tier 4 on the Whispering Grove, but this one is win a match with everything including tier 3 enabled on the Dungeon of Despair. So maybe what we should do for the next few episodes is go to the Dungeon of Despair. Let's try to finish Curse Tier 2 on the Dungeon of Despair next episode, and in the one after that, I'll try to clear Curse Level 3 on the Dungeon of Despair. If we can succeed in that, then we can unlock this guy, which I'm assuming he's like a Reaper or something. And that'll be very, very cool. I still want this guy alive. I'm assuming he's like a Necromancer, which would require us completing 100% of the Overlord mode, which I know we can do as well, but we need to be faster if we want to do that. So we'll see what we want to do next episode, but that's going to be our main focus, is getting that done with Curse Level 3 on the Dungeons of Despair there. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to leave me a like, comment, subscribe, or hit that notification bell so you can see more in the future. All that would be much appreciated. And just thank you so much for watching. So that's going to do it for me today. So as always, have a great day.